time to take a look at Moxi Engage and look at one of the features that will actually help us get business if you're an agent, and if you're an ASC, help the agents. So Carl's, just to get into Moxi, you go to Schmidt Resources, click on your state, click on Moxi Works right there. And once you've done that, the login is here. Click to log in there. So I'm already logged in over on the different screen, so I should jump over to that one. Close those two. And once you're in Engage, we're going to look at what we can send the customers to keep them focused on the agent and keep them focused on what the agent's offering. And one of the best features that this system has is right here. So what we do is we're going to select a person. So I'm just going to click on My People. So it will run a little slowly because I'm running the video in and out. Now, once a person comes up, we can actually select what we're going to be sending them. There's really two main areas. There's newsletters, which we can produce ourselves, and there's a report called Neighborhood News, which sends a regular report, and you can choose the style of content that's in there, and it's that I wanted to focus on. So I am going to pick a test customer. So we'll have somebody like Brandy down here. So I'm going to select this person, and I've already selected them as a client rather than a non-client because it was a lead that organically came in from the website, and we do have the email and they did enter a phone number. So on the left-hand side here, we've got subscriptions, and that's an important area to focus in on. And if you click it, there's two types. There's a neighborhood news report, which will send the subscribers a monthly email highlighting the selected market activity. It also gives access to a detailed report, trend data, current listings within the agent's website. And it says this method will keep contacts informed and keep you at the forefront of the buyer's mind, basically. And then there's listing announcements, which is similar to sending a just listed, just sold postcard. And this will send a top of mind follow-up. It's not just an email, it's very rich content announcing what's going on in the local market that's selected. So the one we're going to look at here, Neighborhood News, you click Add Subscription. So to get there, I went to People. Once I got to People, I went to Neighborhood News and then a subscription. And there's two types. There's a very quick and easy one to do, which is just the zip code, but it's not really very focused. And there's really very little selection about what goes out. So the one I prefer to use is the custom one. So you click here, and then it takes us into what the person's going to be seeing. So I'm just going to move this camera thing out of the way. Remove the chat box. So to get started, there's two ways of doing it. You can either draw a map, or you can put in a city, address, or a neighborhood. In this case, I'm going to put an address. So in this case, this would be the address of the prospect if you've got it. If not, you know where they've been searching by looking on the website, on the analytics from the website activity. You can see where they've been searching. So this is the one I want to select, Fort Pierce. And if you want to send a really open, full report that's not really focusing in on particular property types, you can just select from here and take it away from there. For most people, you want to kind of configure it to look a little bit like a saved search from a website or the MLS, but it also adds in more data than just a search. So this is the community, and these are the listings that are currently active and the solds there. And it may be that my client is interested in 3-bedroom minimum. So we can put that filter in. There are other filters as well, so we can take out condos, townhouses, manufactured multifamily, and there may be a square footage preference. And remember, this is not like doing a CMA for the client. This is just really giving them information about the neighborhood. But you may already know that they're looking for something that's 2,000 square feet or larger. So this will start sending them reports of active properties and what's sold. And then you go over here and click next. Here's the email address of the contact who's going to receive it. And you can send in bulk as well. So you can send more than one person at a time. So this is what it generates. And it's all branded for the agent. So this is the email that goes out on the left-hand side here, and the reports on the right. And in the email here, they just click on View Full Report. So the kind of call to action is, your market report is ready, and click here, and it will notify you in the Engage notifications for each client who has opened it. It actually tells you whether they've engaged with the report, which helps us focusing on the right people. So again, it pulls a couple of listings and gives some highlights here on the left-hand side in this email. So the number of listings in this area and the number of sold, the price points, whether it's taking longer to sell, and whether there's whether the number of units has dropped in terms of sold. So that's in there as well. So on the right-hand side here, you can see a sort of more full representation of the report. So it says what it's for, tells them there's a mortgage calculator that they can use, tells them that you've put in the bedrooms and the square footage, and then it's going into the market data here. And all of this is pulled automatically for any area, so it's really easy to use. And the information is useful to the prospective buyer or seller. So another thing you can do is you can copy this information and put it into your newsletter as well. So if you are creating newsletters for prospecting, you can create one of these reports and then take this data and grab it. You can actually screenshot it and put that into your reports. So again, it's telling us about the market. Now, unfortunately, in our market, we're starting to see a little bit of a slowdown due to the virus, and that is starting to reflect. So that will obviously have an impact on buyers and sellers and their behaviour, but that's what we've got. We've got to send out the correct information. Again, it's branded to you, and all your information that's needed for them to contact you is there, including this call out form here at the bottom, which allows them to send the message back to you directly. So to cover how to organize this, if you're working with, I'm just going to cancel that because this is a live client and they're not actually interested in that area, so I'm just going to cancel that. Okay, so inside of your contacts, you can kind of organize groups, of who you're going to send things to. So if I go back to people, and what I'm doing is I'm setting up groups for people who are going to receive neighborhood news and people who are going to receive newsletters that I might create. And groups is a great way of doing it. So here it says edit groups. So I clicked people, went to my people. That's the list of your prospects that are in there or your contacts. You can then select who's going to receive what, but at the moment I'm going to create a group just to make it easier. So I clicked edit groups here, and here I've got newsletter group. So you can actually add any groups that you wish. And this, going forward, this is a way to stay really linear and focused on the content that you're going to be sending people. So I might have a listing alerts group. Close. So that's created, and then you can start adding people, such as this. If I select this one here, and I want to add them to listing announcements group, the one that I just created, they're now in there. So they'll get just listed, just sold, and as you can see, you can start building out the information that goes to each client. The camera box is in the way of my screen.
Yeah, Peter, do you want me to read you some chats real quick?
Yeah, sure, yeah.
So Ginny asked, "Can we use that neighborhood? This was about a minute ago. Can we use that neighborhood search and copy and paste for a newsletter report rather than a single person or group? I guess we would need a PDF copy to paste into newsletter." And
Yeah, no, just screenshot it.
mm-hmm.
So if you're using
Mm-hmm.
a Mac, um, you I think you press Shift Command and number four, and you can actually
Yep.
copy anything on the screen. There's a tool called Snipping Tool on PC, Windows, and you can then just embed the image that you save. So a quick example of that would be is you would go to your you would actually create a you click into one of the contacts so that you can create a report that you're going to use for everybody else. So in this case, I've got subscriptions. I would go to add, and let's say I was going to just use a zip code because it's a very broad area. Um, so we could do it that way. This one I've got 32963 set up, 33498. You just literally add in a zip code and off you go. If you wanted to do something with the map search, which I found very useful, um, because with Ginny Mitchell in particular, she may cover um, areas of a zip code that she wants to exclude. So what you can do with this is you can actually draw around um, the area that you want to include in any report. So if I was to click draw here, and you can do multi-draw or quick. Now quick draw is like just literally draw a circle or a shape around the community that you want to focus in on. Multi-draw is the one that I'm going to use for this because I know where Ginny is. So with multi-draw, you would literally pinpoint where you want to take data from to include um, the waterfront properties on this barrier island. Okay, and that would then exclude properties that share the same zip code but are not the type of property that you're interested in pushing out to your prospects. So that's how you would do that. As you can see, they all appear on the left-hand side. Then click next so that we can start to take a look at this report. And you can email it to yourself, which is an easy way of getting that information. Or you could start to take screenshots from the parts that are relevant. So like with this one, if I did Shift Command 4, I would just literally click, oops, I did it wrong, but anyway, you get the idea. I would just click the part of um, the part of the report that I wanted to include in another. So that's taken an image of that, and I can use this data or any of the other parts of the data. Was there any other questions?
Yeah, and I feel like that what you just showed would kind of help a little bit. But Sue was asking, can you post any of this information on Facebook?
Yes. So you can actually, and I've been experimenting with that. Just a minute, I've got myself stuck in this screen. Just go back one. Yeah. So once you create either a newsletter or a report, you can view it and you can share that URL, and you just post the URL by copying and pasting it um, onto Facebook as you would any other link, and it will then take them back to your website actually, where it would then display the report. So yes, you can use it. What I was thinking of doing with these, to be really proactive and start getting more listings, was to call for sale by owners. Excuse me, call for sale by owners and call expireds and get an email address. And the call would go something on the lines of, I know you get an awful lot of agents calling you because you're marketing your own home. I wanted to send you some information that's going to help you sell it by fully understanding the market around you, both in your neighborhood and then in your local community and area. Can I get an email address, a good email address to send that to you? It's completely free, and if you don't want to receive them, you can opt out. So get emails from people, then add them in to a group. So you'd select, again, you go into your engaged people, select a group for sale by owner prospects, and then actively subscribe people into receiving these reports, because this kind of drip, but with relevant content, works. Whereas the average drip campaign really doesn't. you've got to have very, very focused emails on a regular drip campaign to actually get conversions. And what I've found from doing this for quite a while now is that these types of neighborhood news reports and listing announcements really do give value to the person receiving it. And if you put the right calls to actions in those messages, then you'll start to see responses coming back through, and people appreciate what you're doing for them. So yes, you can send out the URL by copying and pasting it, or you can cut up one of the reports and create your own newsletter.
And Peter,
the newsletters we were creating in Present. Yeah.
are you getting those? Are you getting those URLs from like a test email, and then you're copying and pasting it from there?
Yeah, I'm sending it to myself,
Yes.
opening it up, and then.
So because that was one of the other questions is, are you sending it to yourself as like a test client in order to see? So Mike McGuire, this is.
Yeah. So if I go to people, go to overview. Mine's running real slow today. I just upgraded the internet yesterday, so it might be settling in. I actually send things to myself so that I can see what they look like and
right.
chop them up. Really what I would do is I wouldn't be sending, personally, you can, but I wouldn't be. I wouldn't be putting out neighborhood news reports globally. I would rather create a newsletter in Present and then send that out globally. There's a reason for that. Is the neighborhood news is meant to be specific for each person receiving it, and therefore, if you make it generic, it's not really that relevant. Whereas with a newsletter, you can have an awful lot more content and interesting, engaging, articles in your newsletter. So yeah, my internet's running real slow. In your newsletter to make sure that when they open it, they see something that engages them, not just a bunch of stats. Because not everyone's fully analytical. We have the engineering types out there and the technical types. They appreciate the data. But ordinarily, you need to mix it up a bit with content. Okay, I'm not seeing the chat box, so is there any other questions?
No, so Kathy says, on my actual Moxi website, when I try to sign up for a neighborhood news and add a zip code, I just get a blank screen.
Okay. Let's just demo that real quick.
Yeah.
So sell homes, because if that's the case, it may be that we need to pop a support ticket in.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But I'll just check that it's running here. So inside it, I'm actually logged in at the moment, so I'm just going to, this might create some chaos. I need to sign out to be able to do this as if I'm an actual client. So signed out. Let's see if it, sometimes the cookies are a bit persistent. Sell Homes Florida, there we go real quick. There we are. Right, so this is the website. This is the neighborhood news link here. What I did with this is I created a Facebook post by copying this URL so that people can self-sign up and build their own. So the idea there is you're lead generating. So you take your website URL with neighborhood-news on the end of it. That's now a lead generating landing page that takes them here and gives them, all the reasons why it's useful to have this type of report. Lots of information about what the report will contain, and to sign up for it, they just go here and fill in their information. I'm just going to make sure this works. So zip code 32963. I'm already signed up for that one actually. 329. So they just fill that information in there. So if you drive traffic to this page from social media, this will generate leads for you and people signing up for your neighborhood news. Click that, and it says you'll now receive monthly emails with the latest housing market activity, and basically it does this redirect. So it is working for me, which means that if you do have a problem where it's not pulling the report live like it just did, I would pop onto any of the products from Moxi and click the help button on the right hand side and put in a request. You can talk to somebody live after 11:30 a.m. Otherwise, just leave a message and they'll fix that for you.
So another one more question as we wrap up because we're hitting the 20-minute mark. Yeah. Ginny, and this might be something that you two might want to offline about, but can we use multiple zip codes to our new construction widget rather than a city area?
We'll take that offline, Ginny.
Yeah.
Simple answer is no, but we can look at different ways of handling that with safe searches.
And then Peter, as we wrap up, can you go back to Engage and just show
Yeah,
real quickly how to add? Because I think the main big takeaway is signing people up for neighborhood news and making sure that
yeah,
the information is relevant to them because
yeah.
it's
So
an awesome email.
two ways of doing that. You can share your neighborhood news link from your website and have people create their own, uh, which is one way. And then you've got your product inside of your Engage. So you click on Engage and you would go to, oops, I've got to sign back in now, just a sec. You would, just signing back in, you would select the people or individually. So you can do it by groups, but the easiest way is just take a look at one of your prospects and you can very, very quickly decide how to make it relevant. So you've got those two choices. You've got the targeted one that you've got all the search criteria that makes it more relevant. And then the quick and easy report is by just using the zip code. So to do it, I'll take Mary Client here. And this is, oh, by the way, this is information coming in about what she's been doing, what I've done. But here is the neighborhood news. You can subscribe a client to more than one. They can have as many as required. So this client's got, well, it's test client, has 4 active subscriptions. So if they were looking in 4 different areas, you can do that. So again, you've clicked on subscriptions. Now we're just going to do a quick add by zip code. And you go from there. You just pop in the zip code and off you go. This has an email which you can customize before you send it out. But if I put in 32909, oops, already subscribed to that. We'd have to pick an area that they're not subscribed to already. 3495, let's use that one as well. There we go, 34951. And then it'll give you a preview down the right hand side, and that's them pulling up, the information from the MLS for that area, and you can get that added. So that's it, really. It's really easy. It's actually one of the easiest things you can do. Mm-hmm. So again, engage, find the person, add a subscription, select the style of news, neighborhood news, and opt them in. And they can opt out if they do not want to continue receiving them. But the good thing about it is it does tell you who is opening them and what they're engaging with. And if there was a particular property they were interested in, they can contact you. All right, so I think that covers it for time.
Perfect. Thank you guys so much. As always, if you have questions, reach out to any of us on your Moxi team. We're here to help with this stuff, and have a great Monday. We'll see you next time. Thank you, Peter.